Welcome guys. I'm going to go over the parts of the guitar, and it's always good to know those because you got to talk to other guitarists, and so to communicate with one another we share the same names for the parts. Basically there's three segments to the guitar. You've got your head or headstock, you have the neck, and you have the body. The headstock has a few parts on it that we'll go over. We've got the tuning machines, and to turn the tuning machines we use tuning pegs. These tuning pegs will then wind the string on the spools that are on the tuning machine. So tuning machines, tuning pegs, and now going towards the neck, starting the first fret area, you have the nut, and then all the rest of the frets are separated by what we call fret wires. So this is fret 1, this is fret 2, fret 3, fret 4, fret 5, fret 6, fret 7, fret 8, fret 9, fret 10, 11, and 12. 12 is sort of a magic fret. When you look at the dots on these little inlays, they mark, sometimes you have a guitar will mark 3, but our guitars I think mark 5, 7, 9, but 12 is a special fret. That's where you get back to the original note. So if it's an E string, when I get to fret 12 I'm back to the letter E again. And I guess now would be a good time to tell you the letter names for the strings. The skinny string, this string right here, this is string 1, and then we have string 2, 3, 4, 5, and the fat string is string 6. And they are also named. I'm going to go the other direction now because when you look at a chord chart we always see them in this direction. We see them from this side going this way. So I'm going to start over here as if we were reading, because we always read from left to right. This is E, A, D, G, B, E. Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. And so that's the letters. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie, E, A, D, G, B, E. On the body, all the frets are located on what we call the fretboard. The fretboard extends down onto the face of the guitar. This is the face, and it's kind of weird to have your face on your body, but that's what the guitar does. Over here we have what's called the rib, and the two ribs, and when you play you put the rib of the guitar on your leg to hold the guitar up. This is called the bridge. Sometimes you'll hear it called the bridge. This is called the bridge nut. So the bridge supports the bridge nut, and it's almost like a bridge if you think about it. So this suspends the string to get from one side to the other side, just like a bridge does. This is the end pin, and that covers, I believe, pick guard. So when you play with a pick, this keeps your guitar from getting scratched up. Some guitars don't have those, some guitars do have those. I'm going to switch now to the electric guitar. Alright, here we have an electric guitar, and it has some parts that the acoustic guitar does not have. Now, many of the parts are the same. You still have a head, neck, and body. This still has tuning machines and tuning pegs. It still has the nut, the bridge, the frets, the fret wires, the fretboard. All those things are the same. But we have a few parts here that you don't have on the acoustics. First of all, you have various knobs. There are tone knobs which make the sound more bright, and there are ones that make it sound more or less bright. You could just kind of think of it as being sort of like the EQ. Like when you have an EQ, it can sort of just tilt it in one direction or another. Then you have volume knobs as well. Also, you have what we call pickups. This guitar has two pickups. It has, these are called humbucker pickups. You won't need to remember the specific name of those. But the pickup has the job of changing the physical motion of the string into an electrical impulse, because that's what makes an electric guitar. And then that is sent out of what we call the jack. This is the jack, if you can see it here. And then we have switches. This particular switch has the job of switching between the pickups and allowing you to choose one, the other, or both. Let me show you another guitar that has a little bit different setup, but again, that's pretty much the parts of the electric guitar. I have another electric guitar. This one has 2 switches, 2 knobs. Well, here's the 2 switches. This is a pickup switch, sometimes called a pickup switch. It's switching between different pickup configurations. This is a single coil. That's when you have one. This is a rather kind of a rare one called rails. It kind of looks like the rails of a train track. And then right here we have another this one has a humbucker on it. So you'll see different style pickups depending on the style of music, depending on what the choice of the guitarist. Sometimes people will swap out, get different pickups that they like better than others. Depends on the sound they're going for, what they like. But I think we've covered all. Here's the end pin, and this one does have 2 pins on it, so I can put a strap on this guitar. I can strap this one on. I think that's the parts. We're going to go over the 3 first chords we're going to learn, and they all work well together. They actually will work out real well to be played together with each other. So the first chord we're going to learn, I want you to be straight A students. So I'm going to show you the straight A. It forms a line that's straight. And it's going to be right here, if you can see my hands. Now you'll notice I'm holding my hand kind of like, this is relaxed right here. Nothing like this. Nothing like weird. It should just look pretty relaxed. It's sort of like you just reached up to grab something. So that my hand's not closed. You don't want that close. You want it, now my thumb might be here, my thumb might be here. It depends on your hand and the shape of your hand. But I want my fingers to stand up. I don't want them to lean back. If they lean back, they're going to touch stuff they're not supposed to touch. So I want them to be on their tiptoes, which is really weird when you're saying you want fingers on their tiptoes. But anyway, the point is they need to stand up straight. Now the A chord, it has an X. I'll try to put this over on the screen, but it is Xing out the 6th string. When I with my right hand, when I go to play, I'm not going to touch this one and try to strum it or strike it or pull it or plug it. I'm leaving this one alone because it's X'd out. I'm going to start here and go across this way. So I'm with string 5. String 5 is open. String 4 is a 2. So I've got to put something down on fret 2. String 3 is a 2. String 2 is a 2. And then the top string, string 1, is an O. It's open. And I'm going to get those up on their tiptoes. I'm going to get my hand comfortable so I don't get super tired when I'm playing. I'm going to push down. Might hurt your fingertips just a little bit, especially at first. You're going to develop calluses. It's not like you can't really even see them, but you can kind of feel them. Your skin gets tough. Hey, your skin's tough. It's going to rise to the occasion. So now when I play across this, I'm getting a good tone. So I'm going to play them all. I'm going to check each one to make sure they don't sound funky. It's good. It sounded a little rattly. Bad. I'm going to tighten it up. There's good. Okay, they all sound okay. That's the way I want to play my chords. That's the A chord. If you prefer, you can play it like this. Excuse me, I'm not used to playing it that way. You can play it like this. You can play it like this. I'm doing it the way other people do it. I'm just saying it doesn't really matter. I saw this guy playing downtown. Great guitar player. But his fingers were like big hot dogs. I mean, they were huge. And when he was playing that chord, he was using just one finger like that because he couldn't use multiple fingers. But he was able to bend that finger just the right way to play all 3 strings with just one. I don't know if I can do it, but he did it. No, I can't do it. My finger doesn't bend up like that. Everybody's got different fingers. But the job is to do something comfortable for your hand to get these 3 down. And I even know a guy who goes in the opposite direction. He goes this way. Whatever works for you, your hand's different, but there are some things that are important. Not hurting yourself is something important. So that's the chord, the A chord, the straight A. Let's go quickly now and let's get to the D chord. The D chord, I like to think of it as a diamond shape. If you look at the chord chart, it's sort of like the diamond that goes on top of a ring. So let me get this over here where you can see. And it's sometimes we call it the triangle. I like the name diamond because it starts with the letter D, and I hope you remember it. You don't play string 6. You don't play string 5. You only play 4, 3, 2, and 1. So what I'm going to be doing is I like to think of these as like kind of like fangs. They're getting ready to bite down here. And the first string, my middle finger gets the first one. My first finger goes on the third one. And then my ring finger's in about the right spot. I can just reach over here. It has to arch over. You want it to kind of curve over and land right on the right little spot. And that gives me the D chord. If I lean this back, listen to how it will kill this top string. Make them stand up. Make them stand up. Now you don't want to tuck your fingers away. Like if your pinky's like this, okay if it hovers over here. Don't take it and put it away down here. Same thing if I'm playing my A here. I don't want my pinky under the fretboard. I want it hovering because you might want to do something with it. It can do things. So I might go. Might want to grab a note with it. If you put it away, you can't grab a note. The last of these chords is the E chord. Now the E chord uses all the strings. The first one is open. I'm taking my middle finger for string 5, my ring for string 4. Those are both on fret 2. My first finger is landing on the 3rd string, fret 1. And I'm going to try to play all these together. The last 2 strings are open. I want a real good tone. A little out of tune, but that's pretty much right. You'll notice I'm kind of pinching down here, and that's, let me rest my guitar better. There we go. Now I can do my hand right. I got tired in 15 seconds of doing that. So I'm holding it here right. My hand's more relaxed. My wrist is pretty straight, and I'm playing this E chord. Those are 3 chords you need. You learn those 3 chords, you can play an awful lot of songs. So now looking at these more from the angle from where you play them, instead of looking at someone else's guitar. The A string, don't play string 6. 5 is open. All 3 of these on fret 2, and then the last string open. So nothing, X, O, 2, 2, 2, O. That's the way we write it. And I'm going to play that now. That would be the A chord. I'm going to relax my wrist, and it's like this. I don't have a pick, but that's it. The D chord, I'll nickname it the diamond. It is a sort of a triangle shape. You don't play 6. You don't play 5. It's 2 on the 3rd string, 3 on the 2nd string, and it's 1 on the 1st string. So you're only playing those 4 strings. It should sound like this. It should sound better in tune than that, but that's the correct notes. I'm going now to the E chord. The E chord uses all of the strings. You're going to use all of them. So I have this. Here we go. I'm going to play open, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0. So my middle finger is on 2 of the 5th. My ring finger is on 2 of the 4th. My first finger is on 1 of the 3rd string. And I'm going to go ahead and play that. You strum across all strings. Now what's going to make these nice is this is going to give us the 3 of the 4 most common chords. It's going to give us a 1 chord, a 4 chord, and a 5 chord. If A is 1, think about it this way. You've got A, B, C, D. That gives me the 4 chord. When I play it in the key of A, I've got my 1, and the D becomes my 4. I also will have 5. A, B, C, D, E. So the probably the three most common chords, the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord, I can do them all just by using these 3 chords. The A for 1, the D for 4, and the E for 5. And we'll learn way more about what those numbers mean and how they work in the future. But just to let you know, if you only knew 3 chords, that's 3 good chords to know.